morning, church. Today we're on day 10 of the fast. I pray as you've been going through this journey and you've removed things out of your life that you're being intentional about what you put back into those voids and filling that time or that space with God. The other day I was watching this video and it started off with a man saying, a pear tree doesn't eat pears and a plum tree doesn't eat plums, but they get water. All they get is water, but they bear fruit. Because that fruit isn't for them, that fruit is for others. And it made me think back to John 4:13 and 14, where Jesus says, those that drink from the well of man will be thirsty again, but those that drink from his well will never be thirsty, and it will bring eternal life. When I watched this video, it reminded me of something that happened early on, a testimony I'll share with you that I don't share with anybody because of how it happened and how ridiculous at the time I thought that I sounded. But at the beginning of my walk with God, my wife was talking to my sister-in-law one night, and they were talking about family stuff and whatever else, and it was getting late. I started to clean up. A little while later, I came back into the room and I looked at my wife and she was still talking on the phone, and I said, Jamie, do you need wisdom? And that's why I don't tell people, because why would I ever say things like that? But she looked at me with a surprise and she says, actually, I do. She says, I'm talking with your sister-in-law, and the conversation went from where we were talking before to now she's talking that the closer she gets with God, the more she feels attacked. And I can't remember, at this moment, what those two verses were, but at that moment, God had put two verses in my heart to say that the response that my sister-in-law needed to hear, that only God could have provided in that moment, to know that God is talking to her and that there's going to be spiritual warfare, but everything is going to be okay. And so when I continued to watch that video, it made sense. It clicked. It told me that I had to share this, because the next thing he says is that when we drink that water, when the plants get that water, what we get out of it, we don't have that fruit, we get wisdom. And that wisdom gives us instruction for our lives, but it can bring life to others, eternal life to others. That fruit that we bear because we are filled with that knowledge, filled with that wisdom from spending time with the Lord and spending time with his word, not only gives us that instruction, but gives us opportunities to bear that fruit and witness to others. So as you continue on this fast, I pray that as you're reading and spending time with the Lord, you gain your instruction for what God's trying to tell you, but don't ever look past the opportunity that you can share your fruit with others. Love you, church.